AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all. All mic'd up. We in the mix, baby. Baba. Oh, me, oh my. We here with some AllBall reactions. Stop playing.
Ball suckers.
I know what this is, man. Some AllBall reaction before we get to the main course, of course. You know what? Let's start it off with the shenanigans. Sugarman. We see you, Sugarman. We see you, Sugarman. How do we let's go to your page. Let's do that so we can zoom in on us. What the hell else you got going on? Are we on this? Or are we on a live? Let's go. Everybody get in the building. Oh me, oh my. So apparently, Sugarman, Mo was going on. Tory B was good. LD, que lo que. You know, we hit a nerve on people because they were saying, yo, you don't get it. Rich Paul is a mastermind marketing genius. He ain't just saying D-boys, it's the BMW guys. They got Michael Jordan over the... That's why Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. See here? It's like God Sugarman, man. He be in the comments. You see him. He shows a lot of love, a lot of respect, to be honest. I wasn't going to watch that whole video. We got the gist of it, dog. Go follow Sugarman, y'all. Nice guy when he wants to be. You know what else? I think got a whole bunch of shit confused. This started off with Rich Paul and his rant about Jordan popping off because of Nike sneakers or something like that. Or Michael Jordan popped off because of people who owned BMWs. It might be a fair point. But let's revisit that, right? Rich Paul. Let's revisit that real quick. The reason why Michael Jordan blew up, according to Rich Paul, you know, renowned agent, Clutch Sports is like the 6th highest, whatever, valued agency in the world. Definitely in sports, definitely in the United States. Let's revisit that for 1 second. So I don't take anything out of context, even though it's only 30 seconds.
Back to North Carolina, etc.
Right.
He comes Carolina
with the powder blue. Yeah.
It was only, by the way, back then it was only 3 colorways, and so if you bought a pair of shoes. But here's the other thing: people didn't buy MJs because they wanted to be just like Michael Jordan. That was half of the people, half of the consumers. You know what the other half was?
So he corrected himself real quick because he wanted to hate first. They ain't do it because of Mike. It wasn't because of Mike. They didn't want to be like Mike. That was half of them. It went from none to half. He came in here with an agenda and changed it real quick.
They wanted to be like Max, who had the BMW and the cute girl that had on Michael Jordan.
Sure.
So now,
the influencers.
if you get both of those consumers, you have the entire market share.
That's interesting.
Because
so you have to have the elite athlete that's different than
back to
the elite athlete. Like maybe that's part of the reason why it went over my head. So, you know what I did? I go holler at ChatGPT, some of these AI people, and they helped. They helped. Take a look-see. Hey, Gemini, would you say without these BMW owners, Michael Jordan wouldn't have been as popular? I start off by saying the BMW owners helped, Michael Jordan's popularity. And they said, well, there's no record of a specific organized group of BMW owners who campaigned for Michael Jordan. The demographic you are likely thinking of is affluent, suburban professionals, often stereotyped as yuppies in the 80s and 90s who drove BMWs, played a massive role in his financial explosion and crossover appeal. So, by the way, he kind of like stereotyped Max Kellerman and played him in front of his face on the low. On the low, because he doesn't really realize who Max Kellerman really is, I would think. Maybe he's just using his skin color as an example. But Max Kellerman is probably way more hip-hop than Rich Paul. Like, they even break down a segment of which rap songs they listened to in the 90s or which albums. And Rich Paul went totally commercial. He said Doggy Style, It Was Written, and then, Reasonable Doubt. And Max Kellerman went the super New York route, only built for Cuban links. The other album, I never listened to it because he mentioned it before. I was a big Max Kellerman fan before. And he said only built for Cuban links, and there was another one he mentioned. But they were all, and Capone Noriega, The War Report, which is regarded as, it's kind of overrated by a lot of people in New York. But people give it this next level, because Mobb Deep was around. But my point is, he's using Max Kellerman as the fake version of whatever he thought he was talking about. He's saying he's the white guy with the BMW, the yuppies that were buying whatever was in vogue, in style, because this is what was coming from the hood, was players like Michael Jordan, which, by the way, is all true. It's all part of the marketing, because Michael Jordan was part of this explosion in the NBA after the 70s, ABA-NBA merger, live television, Magic and Bird, Dr. J, all these things combined. And specifically, what nobody talks about really is they were preventing black basketball from being shown on TV and being shown on the highest level. The NBA had to finally give in because they were losing money too. And the ABA-NBA merger helped them out. So there's a huge intersection of all of this that comes to a head with the Michael Jordan. So yeah. Don't think he's wrong in that. But if we continue on, it was a corporate strategy by David Falk. That's obviously Michael Jordan's agent. Jordan's agent had a specific strategy. He didn't want Jordan to be just a basketball player marketed to sports fans. He wanted Jordan to be marketed like a tennis player or golfer like Arnold Palmer, who appealed to the wealthy country club demographic. The BMW demographic, Falk aggressively targeted brands that appealed to people with disposable income, the kind of people who drove BMWs, worked in finance, and had corporate jobs. The result, this is why Michael Jordan signed with brands like Chevrolet initially, McDonald's, and later Bijan, a fragrance, and Wilson. It made it socially acceptable for a businessman in a suit to idolize a basketball player, effectively widening his fan base from kids and sports fans to everyone with a wallet. The BMW was a status symbol for Jordan. Jordan himself was a famous BMW owner, which bridged the gap between street cool and corporate success. The car, Jordan famously drove a 1991 BMW, the A50i. It was one of the it cars of the 90s. Yada, yada, yada. The sneakers with suits phenomenon. Before Jordan, sneakers were mostly for the gym or the street. Jordan's popularity with the BMW crowd helped normalize the idea of high-end sneakers and a luxury item. Because Jordan was marketed as a premium, classy figure, unlike the rebellious marketing of earlier eras, affluent suburbanites felt comfortable buying $100 plus sneakers at a huge price at the time for their children or themselves. This demographic provided the massive purchasing power that turned the Air Jordan brand into a billion-dollar business, rather than just a successful shoe line. So here's how they summarize it. People who owned BMWs didn't help him in an organized way, but winning over the demographic that drove BMWs was the key to his billionaire status. They said the key. It transformed him from an NBA star into a corporate icon who was safe, successful, and universally admired by the wealthy establishment. So, hey, AllBall. What's going on, brother? Just responding to Sugarman real quick, as very briefly, AI saying that the BMW demographic did help make Michael Jordan a billionaire. And as we're finishing up here, I asked him straight up, would you say without these BMW owners, Michael Jordan wouldn't have been as popular? It would be accurate to say he wouldn't have been as wealthy or as commercially powerful, but he still would have been famous. To understand this distinction, you have to look at the difference between popularity, being known and liked, and commercial viability, being a brand that generates billions. They financed the empire, the $100 sneaker. The reality, inner street kids and street culture created the hype and the cool factor, but they often lacked the disposable income to sustain sales in the millions of units year after year. The BMW role of suburban parents were the only ones actually swiping the credit cards. Without this demographic willing to buy high-priced sneakers for their kids, Nike would not have generated the massive revenue that fueled Jordan's legal marketing machine. They allowed him to cross over. The shift, Jordan was one of the first black team sport athletes to be fully embraced by the white affluent establishment. If he hadn't won over the BMW crowd, he might have remained a basketball star like Julius Erving, legendary but not a billion-dollar corporation, rather than a global icon. Corporate America, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, only invest in huge money if they know how you appeal to the people with the money. However, they didn't make him cool. It is crucial to note that the BMW owners did not create Jordan's popularity. They followed it. Street culture led the way. Jordan's cool came from his dunking, gold chains, the banned Nike narrative, and his acceptance by urban youth culture and influential black filmmakers like Spike Lee. The dynamic, the affluent suburbs bought Jordans because they wanted a piece of that edge. If Jordan had only appealed to BMW owners like a golfer, he would have been rich but boring. He needed the street to be cool and the suburbs to be rich. The verdict, would he have still been popular? Yes. He was the best basketball player in the world. He would have been an NBA legend regardless of who bought his shoes. Was he a billionaire? Likely not. The massive wealth came from selling a premium product to the masses. You cannot build a billion-dollar brand in the 90s without the disposable income of the American middle and upper class. So there you have it. Voila, AllBall. You need white people to sell a bunch of shit in this country. You think 50 Cent would have been 50 Cent if he didn't sign with them and have a whole bunch of... No. But the part that you guys miss out on is that in order to be cool, you got to fucking play ball like that. We didn't see no shit like that ever. Dr. J was close, David Thompson, all these guys. It was good. It wasn't that. That R&B, it was on full display, live television, Matty Johnson, Larry Bird, all these guys, all these things that happened before Michael Jordan, yes, it had to take place so that Michael Jordan, the one of one, the lightning in the bottle could take place. But that shit don't exist if you replace him with Clyde Drexler. What the fuck are you people talking about, Sugarman? Rico Pablo is on a run. We over here, AllBall TV, we respect the hustle. We definitely respect the scam because you're getting away with it. We don't want you in trouble at all whatsoever. But, AllBall, enough is enough of these shenanigans. Who do they think they're going to put the wool over their eyes over here? MJ will always be MJ, dog. Stop being mad at the fact that you're not that. The cards weren't dealt for you, man. AllBall.
Discussions I'm not having no more. First and foremost, how do I look? How do I sound? Let's get to that first. Just gotta say what up to the chat. Love y'all more than y'all know. Chat, what up, man? Hope everybody's having a great day, a beautiful evening. Big shout out Sugarman. But come on, bro. Thing is, Rapper for Mega, go to his IG page and look what he said about what Rich Paul said as far pertaining to the Michael Jordan, people wear Jordans. I'm gonna say it again. Go to Core Mega's Instagram page, the rapper Core Mega. Yes.
Core Mega.
Tell me I'm crazy and tell me how does Core Mega sound.
And where the hell is Core Mega from? Core Mega says this guy says people didn't buy Michael Jordan sneakers because of Jordan. He said they wanted Jordans because dope boys wore them. I respectfully disagree. Jordan was a standout performer in North Carolina, which resulted in him playing on USA and putting belt to ass to some of the NBA's best players before he even entered the league. Then he comes in the NBA, and it was like we were witnessing a new version of Dr. J, but with uncanny speed and an unrelenting will to win. The Jordan sneaker base price was high, so many parents didn't want to pay that price, but drug dealers were obviously able to afford them. The price drop via sales allowed many others to get them, but the hype increased in the playoffs when he went toe-to-toe with the best. He didn't win the championship, but he won the public. Then something happened that we hadn't seen at that time. Usually a player gets a sneaker and that's his signature shoe for a while or slightly modified. Jordan 2 looked totally different, and they were on his feet during historic moments. The next season, he had a different silhouette with cement features and a unique shape. It wasn't dope boys that made us want Jordans. It was dope moves, dope dunks, dope posters, and as the saying goes, I want to be like Mike. Jordan was doing things so unbelievable that some started to say it must be the shoes. The thing Rich Paul failed to mention is Jordan had a tremendous it factor to him. Women, children, and men all admired him. He was and is cool. Cool sells. Space Jam, the one Jordan was in, was a hit in movie theaters, not because dope boys bought tickets, but because the world bought tickets. Michael Jackson put Jordan in a video because Jordan is cool. There was times I put on a pair of Jordans and jumped to see if I can jump higher. Having on J's became a cool factor. They look cool on girls, babies, and street people. The dope boy era has since faded, but the demand for Jordans persists. Damn. The dream team were rock stars in Barcelona, and Jordan was the star of the group that helped Nike and NBA development internationally. I respect Rich Paul's loyalty to his friend Rich, but I respect Rich Paul's loyalty to his friend, though we all need a friend like Rich. Rico Pablo is what they call him. Huh?
So, Sugarman, doesn't that sound familiar? I told you, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with me. So, bro, we just facts. If we're wrong, we're okay. If we're wrong, we're fine with that. But Rich Paul was 100% incorrect. Big shout out to rapper Cormega, one of the most underrated rappers of all time. Great MC. But what I keep saying, Fabian, niggas that was really outside at them times is gonna say and feel what Cormega said. By the way, what Cormega just said, what you just read perfectly, said that first. Right up here on AllBall TV. Oh, I'm 5'8" right now, so just imagine how short I was at that time. But we was putting on mics. Fly With Me might have been the most watched videotape of all time. Come Fly With Me might be the greatest basketball video of all time. Niggas was waking up watching that shit, coming outside and trying those moves. Whether you put the bench in front of the rim so you could try to dunk, or you was trying Michael Jordan dunks but doing layups because you was too little to dunk. So for me, I love when people test us, and then look, you have a guy like Cormega, respected, legendary human being, not only a rapper. That's exactly what AllBall TV said. Bro, listen, they said I'm Rich Paul, but you can't hustle is the hustle. The hustlers, bro. Listen, we was old enough and we was there in those moments. Drug dealers ain't care about Jordans. I can't speak for Cleveland. You in New York? I told y'all what it was. And think about before me. If we talking early 80s, I'm born in 77. So let's say we talking 85 to 90. You gotta think about what the big timers was wearing. This is British Walkers and all that. You read my classic.
Adidas.
So Stan Smith, nigga, these are remember the fire, the low cut cream felines?
I
Like
was a baby.
this, so that's what I'm saying. Like then it graduated to the constructs, to the chuckers, to the beef and broccolis. When the white Nike Airs came in play, it was game over. Then we talk about the Air Force Ones with all the colors. The white with the yellow check, red check, blue check, gray check, black check. Niggas was wearing mics, but it wasn't because of what Rich Paul is saying. That's why I was saying he's 100% incorrect. When I'm saying, of course I'm exaggerating. He probably was outside in the hood shooting that, whatever. I mean, we having fun and trolling at that point. But I'm saying for me, Cormega just proved, listen, when you outside, you know what's going on. You see what's going on. Like I said, the ladies wasn't wearing Jordans, bro. It was 5411s.
Right.
In Swiss. Bro, that's like, bro, we speak facts. And one thing up here on AllBall TV, if we wrong, we don't mind being wrong. We get debated, we can have fun. But like I said, look how many people responded to what Rich Paul said. It wasn't only called Mega. I've seen a lot of comments disagreeing with his take. A lot. So for me, I love it. Big shout out to everybody. But bro, certain things with me, I know what I'm talking about. Like I said, we was outside at a young age. And in that era, it's block parties, it's free lunch. It's just lit. PAL. So no, like I said, niggas was wearing mics because what you seen on that basketball court. Like I said, when people got that "Come Fly With Me" VCR tape, bro, niggas got into fights over that. If you let somebody borrow that, a nigga ain't give you your shit back. You kidding me? Niggas was really watching them VCR tapes and coming outside. You call your guy, yo, my nigga, I just finished watching that. You? All right, yo, we outside. Hey, y'all niggas on the lab line trying all that shit looking crazy. Nothing to do with the big time drug dealers, bro. I'm sorry.
But he really, to correct it, he was saying, he pointed to Max and he said the dudes like they look like you with a BMW, and that's what they was breaking down. Like he was talking about the yuppies and the white people, and it was like, bro, the fact that Max let him slide with that is crazy. Max ain't just no random white boy with a BMW growing up. Like the way his, God bless his dad, his brother and all that, the way how they came up was different. So for me also, here's another problem. I was too young for the Michael Jordan when he came to the league. So if I was too young, how old was Rich Paul when Michael Jordan came to the league, bro? That's number one. And number two, I hated Michael Jordan so much. My first favorite ball player is Barkley. I didn't want Jordan to win. I wanted Barkley to win. He said, I don't got no role models, all that shit. So I was way too late into the Michael Jordan shit. Now you fast forward, I got to see LeBron high school go to the NBA. So you telling me that hype wasn't real either? That was fake hype with LeBron, the chosen one and all that? Like when we saw chosen one, it was like, yo, this kid is legit. So what you think LeBron would have been in 83, 84? There was no hype either, bro. There was no social media. There was no cable like that. Barely anybody had cable. You think LeBron wouldn't have been popping? So imagine Mike. That's the part I keep stressing. You are upset. You keep taking this loss. I don't know why you keep barking up the same tree. Leave that man alone. Just go partner with him. It will be better for y'all. You're getting flamed. I don't know why it's cool to get flamed in this era and go viral like that. Like at some point, the embarrassment got to set in because you losing credibility. I'm just using you for views. And the last video ain't even do too well. I'm gonna be keep it 1,000. Cause I got another video lined up where you said some dumb shit. But guess what, Rich Paul? Rico Pablo, I'm gonna give it another shot. But this shit is like, I don't want to watch it. You're supposed to be an agent. Like, I want to get the game. That is right up his alley. How did Michael Jordan really make it? Was this, but he was also Michael Jordan. That shit is a 1 of 1, bro. You don't want to really replicate what Jordan did. You can't. That shit was like in God's plan. You can't really create that. You can't. So what do? Let's replicate the marketing part. Keep it funky. What are you there for? I didn't learn shit, but just how to disable your whole fucking mentality right now and how to prove that you're a hater. Your whole style of LeBron to come up was to hate on Jordan. And you continue to do that shit and then blame Mike because and the Mike fans. Nah, you keep putting yourself on the target. Shit is stupid, bro. Like, forget about being there, wasn't there. Just why are you so wrong, man? That shit is trash, old boy.
Yeah, listen, this is the second podcast. It's probably many others, but I told you this shit is gonna be terrible. Like I said, nobody wants to hear these guys talk. And if you are gonna talk, it's not only about talking facts. Talk about what people want to hear. Let's hear how you being LeBron's friend since the early ages, because we have to admit that LeBron has been a superstar since he was in high school. That's a fact, right? Well, let's hear, if you want to talk about Jordans and the sneaker, let's hear about the impact it had on y'all as young men. And you being one of LeBron's big friends, and how was y'all reacting and feeling seeing Michael Jordan? Because we all know LeBron is a big Michael Jordan fan. He says it. There's plenty of interviews where he tells me, yo, what's your top 5? And he says Michael Jordan named 5 times, right? He wears the number 23. So how were y'all impacted by Mike as far as when y'all was watching the Chicago Bulls play? So those are the type of things I would love to hear from Rich Paul, right?
And stay right there. And the fact that you literally get to compete on and off the court with what that magnetism is. It's not like we're saying you had no chance. That's why I say when they say LeBron is in the conversation as the GOAT or whatever, and off and on and off the court, you got to salute that. I love what AllBall just said right now, because who else is in this conversation? Yeah, you got Kobe and but LeBron is really the only one who got to compete with Mike on and off the court, and he got his man to be an agent. And now you have a podcast and you can't even keep it real enough to be like, yo, you know what's crazy? Who was bigger than Michael Jordan? And now my man happens to be able to rival him. And then we got the Nike campaign and we got to rival that. Yo, Max, let me tell you something. We made a lot of money, but this motherfucker ain't no joke. You supposed to big that up so that if you do surpass it, let's say arguably you did, now you made the giant be a giant and how you toppled them. All that trying to hate on them shit, it didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, LeBron, as much as I, troll and have fun with LeBron fans, and he still has an argument to be the GOAT, right? To me, him and Kobe is the only ones that have a legit argument. Like I said, you have, God rest their soul, Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, still living Cleveland, do the ball. Like, those guys are great, right? But, at the end of the day, I would love to hear what type of conversations Rich Paul and LeBron were having when LeBron was in high school, knowing he was going to go to the NBA and be the #1 pick. Did you have talks with LeBron where LeBron really said in high school, yo, I think I'm going to be the greatest player ever. I think I'm going to be better than Mike. But, like, those are the conversations I would love to hear from Rich Paul. Not this dumb shit where you trying to sound cool. Guys that was from the streets or in the streets, they don't have to try to act or sound cool. It's just going to flow, right? So for me, that's what I would love to hear. Like, yo, we signed to Nike. Mike was signed to Nike. Are we going to use the same strategy that Mike used? And like I said, did LeBron ever say in high school, I'm going to be the greatest basketball player to ever live, or I'm going for that? So I think Rich Paul can use that platform to, like, just do so much good and talk about things that we actually want to hear, because there are a lot of things that people want to hear about LeBron, right? And who else better than his closest friend? So for me, what Rich Paul tried to do in that moment, I didn't understand it. I just don't. It was just silly. I don't want to call him stupid. Them guys is very smart, right? So, but that wasn't a dope conversation to have, and it backfired because nobody agreed with him. We had people on AllBall TV in the chat that that disagreed. Look at what Cormega said, and like I said, it was so many comments that was just like, what? So I just feel like when you got a platform and you're Rich Paul and you're Max Kellerman, you have to come up with better topics and more interesting things that people want to hear, because that right there, that shit was silly and stupid. And for Max to be from New York, to understand being a Knicks fan at that age, because Max was a Knicks fan at once. So he know what it was with that Michael Jordan era. He knows being in New York. So for Max to not, like, try to fix that or correct Rich Paul, it's weird. But listen, big shout out to them dudes, but hopefully we ain't got to hear from them much longer. Get them niggas out of here. Sorry.
Or take AllBall's advice. Let's get around the league real quick, AllBall. Little song and dance, see what's going on. See if somebody got a chance at Jonathan Kuminga. The Kings, the Sacramento Kings, are the only team showing interest in Jonathan Kuminga, as per Monty Poole from NBC. Of the other 29 teams in the NBA, only the Sacramento Kings have shown interest in acquiring Kuminga. According to league sources, that the Kings are alone on this island because makes a statement on its own. Use your imagination, but Sacramento general manager Scott Perry is eager to shed high-salaried veterans and begin a rebuild. The other 28 teams have shown no more than tepid interest, sources say, leaving the market for Kuminga even cooler now than it was in July, when he was a restricted free agent, hoping for an offer sheet that never came. Things getting a little interesting over there in Golden State, AllBall. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you.
I don't think it's weird. I think I've said this a while ago. Steve Kerr is sabotaging that man's NBA career. Kuminga is an NBA basketball player. Like what the league is today is perfect for a guy like Kuminga. 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", athletic. He's young, and he can play the game of basketball. Is he not better than Amen Thompson? How can he not be as good as those guys? All right, I'm not saying maybe not defensively, but on the offensive end. Like for me, I forgot who said it. Was it Isaiah Thomas? I don't know if it was Zeke or somebody else, but this was recently, within the last 2 days. They was like, yo, if I was Kuminga, I'd choke Steve Kerr already. And they compared it to, I think, when PJ got choked with Sprewell. Bro, what Golden State and Steve Kerr is doing to Kuminga is dead wrong. Listen, if you don't want somebody, get rid of them. Trade them. Trade them. Now, I agree. I see in the comments because sometimes I can see him, low basketball IQ player, maybe not a good, team. I don't know. I don't think he's had enough chance to prove that. I'll give you a prime example. We had Obi Toppin. We didn't know what to do with Obi Toppin. He goes to Rick Carlisle, Indiana. They find him a role, a great role, and next thing you know, they're in the NBA Finals, and Obi is playing the best basketball he's ever played in the NBA. No disrespect, but Kuminga is better than Obi Toppin. So for me, you find the right situation, the right coach, and then sky's the limit. So I feel, Steve Kerr, whatever he's doing it on purpose. And people need to start looking at Steve Kerr a whole lot more when it comes to this Golden State situation. It's a debacle. The way y'all got rid of Klay Thompson was disrespectful. The way Draymond Green is who he is disrespectful. What are y'all doing to Kuminga is crazy. So I just think that shit is a mess over there. And Steve Kerr is ruining his image, whether people want to believe it or not.
I'm not sure if he's going to be, Obi Toppin's level, but I definitely understand the point. Like, he needs an opportunity. Like, look at Diawara. We're clamoring like, yo, what are you doing to Diawara right now, Mike Brown? And, Kuminga looks like he'll be more talented than Obi Toppin. Also, that system with Steph Curry isn't easy. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. Like, yo, it's not easy to just be playing next to Steph Curry. That system is run for him. So if you go outside of that, they will get on you. Kevin Durant, that's part of the reason why they went back and forth with Draymond. So even one of the best one-on-one players of all time was sitting there and could not get off his game alongside Steph Curry. And it's going to be hard for Kuminga to really be Kuminga in that system, in that organization. He's not getting playing time. Nothing about that seems like he's on his way or on a path to at least practice and at least show us and prove to himself more than anybody else. Forget Steve Kerr. He wants to play to show out, it seems like. But that's not an easy combination for him to go prove himself.
Well, one thing I disagree with you is that it's difficult to play alongside Steph Curry. We watched a plethora of guys during that run in that dynasty play great basketball alongside Steph Curry. When we're talking about the reserves, right? You could go from Iguodala to Bubba. Like, it's so many from that first championship all the way up to now. Wiggins, Poole, guys ain't have no problem playing alongside Steph Curry. I think this is a management and coach thing versus Kuminga. For whatever reason, y'all don't like him. Cool, let him go. I don't understand it. Let him go. He's not happy with y'all. Y'all not happy with him. What's taking so long with finding a move? And sometimes in life, you got to take a loss to win. You ain't gonna get nothing back, crazy, for Kuminga. So let's stop acting like if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I'm waiting for a great deal. No, y'all know that ain't gonna happen. Get off the Kuminga bandwagon. Let that man have a career so he can get paid and feed his family. Because I start looking at it from a whole different aspect. You the other man holding down the brother man. Like, that's when it starts looking crazy. Bro, you sabotaging me. Kuminga, the way the NBA is today, Kuminga's supposed to be one of those guys. I'm sorry. The difference between him and Amen Thompson and his brother is probably defense. That's it. He's just as athletic, excuse me. He's just as good on the offensive end, and he's way better than Obi Toppin. I'm sorry. But you have to have a coach and a system that you can play with. Come on, look at the confidence Mike Brown is giving Oleg. What if Kuminga go to a team and they give him that confidence? Oh, man, let's stop acting like Kuminga can't play basketball. And I'm not defending him. I'm not a Kuminga guy. but I seen flashes. We all know the game. What the NBA is today is tailor-made for a guy like Kuminga. Imagine Kuminga in Atlanta last season when they was going on that run in the playoffs or in the finals with a coach like Rick Carlisle. The way Carlisle used Obi Toppin. You kidding me? So listen. At the end of the day, Flea, what up, baby? At the end of the day, guys are human beings, right. and I'm not saying it's right where if you disagree with how you're being treated, it doesn't give you the right to maybe give up or not play. Because at times, like I said, Kuminga and Kerr, that shit look crazy on the sidelines. But you can't tell me Kuminga isn't a decent basketball player and he can't go somewhere. And I'm not saying be a championship level piece and get somebody over the hump like what we expect Cat to do for us. But you can't tell me Kuminga can't go to a team and be productive the same way Obi Toppin is productive with the Indiana Pacers. You can't. Nobody could make me believe that. I'm sorry. So I think Steve Kerr is doing Kuminga dirty, and at this point, I'm starting to dislike Steve Kerr. Seriously. Sometimes no, because sometimes he gets in his own way. It can be a straight up asshole. I'm sorry. So this whole Golden State Warriors situation is not being talked about enough. If this was anywhere else, this would be national news all over. Look how we jumped down J.J. Redick's throat calls with LeBron and the Lakers, and they win basketball games. But for some reason, Flea always alludes to it. Curry, and then now Steve Kerr, they ducks a lot of smoke. Why aren't they some of the number one topics on all these sports shows and all these platforms? What the hell is going on in Golden State? Why isn't anybody over there being held accountable? You let Draymond run amok. Curry is the most craziest superstar that ducks all the smoke. Steve Kerr, he could just hide and don't have to say anything. He don't have to explain what's going on with Kuminga. Nah, so yeah, I don't like what's going on over there, and I'm starting to dislike Steve Kerr as a human being and as a basketball coach from what I'm seeing.
As a record label and a motherfucking crew. Hold that thought, because that leads me to our next point where Kendrick Perkins was speaking to how the Charlotte Hornets are sabotaging LaMelo Ball.
You don't have to say who this from, but you can see the importance of this, but just read that part out.
This one right here?
Yeah.
They on this bullshit. Let's play Melo about 25 to 28 minutes a game so his numbers won't be high. So if they trade him, they won't be trading a two-time All-Star. They will be trading a player that numbers went down. You see what I'm saying?
You see what it is.
Let me see.
Oh.
Let me see.
Okay. So yeah. all I'm saying is I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? The relationship has run its course over there as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not speaking out of your ass.
To break fucking news, we've been missing each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's time for LaMelo to act out.
Yeah, because people are always like, God, Perk's always speaking out of his ass. He's always just saying shit to say shit. You ain't saying shit to say shit.
Yeah, but Perk just don't give his source. Perk don't say my sources say. That's what the report.
Yeah.
My sources tell me.
But you know what's crazy is this, though, right? Speaking of that shit.
That was Perk saying, confirming he got some text messages saying, they're trying to sabotage LaMelo Ball. That's on the heels of AllBall saying the Golden State Warriors are sabotaging Jonathan Kuminga's career at the moment. And then also Boogie Cousins and Lou Williams responded to Kendrick Perkins. And let's see what they had to say.
I can't sit here and ignore that. I mean, we've seen so many examples in just this season alone. We've seen the Jonathan Kuminga situation. We've seen the Trae Young situation. We've seen the Ja Morant situation. Like, it's literally teams killing the value of their own stars. So to sit here and say, this is a little far-fetched, I don't know. I think Perk is on to something. It's obviously something trending in the league right now where teams are willing to sabotage their star players, to devalue their star players.
I just don't think this is it. I don't think LaMelo is it. The other scenarios, you might have a case. I don't think that's necessarily it. Like, if he gonna have 33 and 8, that's value. That's still LaMelo Ball.
I mean, we just watched the guy averaging 20 and 10 get traded for nothing. Like I said, I don't know.
But we can't lump them up because different scenarios, different plays. Like, this isn't LaMelo Ball's 8th year at a franchise.
Let's compare them.
We talking about
Two
value,
bad
right?
organizations.
We talking about value. Yeah, but completely different players, completely different scenarios individually when it comes to them. Organization-wise, cool. Jonathan Kuminga, you could take a look at that. I just don't think this is it. Again, if you're trying to diminish a guy value, when he heating up and he cooking, I get him off the floor. He had 33 and 8 last night if I'm trying to diminish him.
I mean, he averaging 28 minutes a game. That's not necessarily given.
27 last night. But he has a minutes issue. There is a minutes issue. Like he's not gonna.
He's averaging 28 on the season.
Right. And 27, and he played 27. You feel like
you
he
can't tell me that's them protecting him from injury. Like I said, I feel like what Perk is saying is some truth in it. We're watching it happen over and over again.
Yeah,
you don't go.
I can't subscribe to it. If I'm trying to diminish your value and I still let you stay on the floor, listen. So if you can do 33 and 8 in 27 minutes, then let me see what you do in 19. Then. So I don't know. It looked like he was in the game when it was winning time. They were trying to go win a basketball game. So I don't know. It sounds great for other scenarios. I don't think this is the scenario from LaMelo Ball. That's all.
That's why Michelle Beadle.
Huh?
Say it again.
That's why he likes Michelle Beadle. They be doing the vape on screen together.
I didn't even see it.
Vape on screen. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Big Dog.
That's why you like her.
We don't promote any of these paraphernalias and other stuff that don't promote us, sponsor us. I mentioned nothing, but they're referring to LaMelo Ball situation, Trae Young situation, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, Jonathan Kuminga, and I like what Lou Will was saying. They're all different scenarios. Flea, you just got on the screen, baby bubba. What do you feel about what they were saying? The response to Jonathan Kuminga's career being halted by Steve Kerr. Are they all in the same or similar scenario as Kendrick Perkins alluding to? I mean, he did get the text.
Yo, I never thought that I would not want to hear from Boogie Cousins as much as I hear from Boogie Cousins. Every time I hear Boogie Cousins open his goddamn mouth, it is speaking from a perspective as though he really maximized who he was as a basketball player. And that's the only reason why it really bothers me from him. Because I respect him. I thought he was great. But the way he talks is though he elevated a franchise. He had all opportunity to do everything that he was supposed to do, but he didn't. And I just think that's what LaMelo Ball is right now. He's an extremely good talent, but he's not taking you to the next level. He's just not that guy. He's an extremely good player, maybe a franchise level player, but you got to build around him. And that's what they're doing right now. They've built around him. They got a good young team. They're not good, but they're young. There's talent over there, plenty of it. Lead it. Grow up and lead it. Take basketball serious. Nothing about him says he takes the game serious. He approaches it very unserious. So what else is the franchise supposed to do? We're talking about the Hornets. And the Hornets is usually in the lottery. They're usually in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pick. So you go get Brandon Miller. So you go get Con Knipple. You got Miles Bridges. These guys ain't bad players. These guys are good players. And now we draft you at 2 or whatever you were. Trying to figure out the coaching situation, all that, but don't let these guys off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. If he's a high-level player, like everybody's supposed to, I just grabbed my phone because y'all be looking at the highlights and listening to Kendrick Perkins' fucking ass. Last season, he played 47 games. Season before that, he played 22 games. Season before that, he played 36 games. That's 1, 2, 3 seasons. He didn't even hit the 50-game mark. The last time
what they paid him.
I'll get to that in a second. I got you. His all-star year, which is his second year, 75 games. God bless you. 20 a night, all-star level player, rookie of the year, all that, right? But since then, what have you done? We could look at the draft picks. It ain't like they drafted shitty. That's the other thing. It ain't like they drafted bad players. Brandon Miller is going to be a good pro. Colin Knippel might be an all-star level player at some point. Keep it real. I said on the side, I think I said it offline to Fabian. I said they need to get rid of everybody. Start with LaMelo Ball. Build around Knippel. Fuck the rest of them guys. But if we're talking about the team, I think LaMelo needs to be leading that team a lot better than he's done it. I don't think you should be letting him off the hook, DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh boy.
Well,
disagreeing.
No. I agree with Flea said, but I'm gonna take it a step further. I think Lou Will, you know, I think he was 100% correct. I think DeMarcus Cousins was 100% incorrect. Y'all got to remember, DeMarcus Cousins in his mind got blackballed, and in his mind, what he think these players is going through, he feels he went through that. I just seen a quote from him saying that if y'all didn't see it, we talked about why he didn't go to Dallas. He said, Rick Carlisle was recruiting him, and Rick Carlisle was sending him weird selfie text messages. It's like, yo, everybody's weird, man. I don't know what's on.
Don't want to hear about why are you telling us that?
Right. So when he brings up the players he brings up, Marcus Cousins is 100% incorrect. Nobody sabotaged John Morant but John Morant. Nobody sabotaged Trae Young but Trae Young. Nobody sabotaged LaMelo Ball but LaMelo Ball. To me, the Kuminga thing is special. Now, I'm not saying Kuminga is a special player, but that situation is way different. That situation seems way more personal than all the other scenarios. Way more personal, right? So eventually, that shit is going to come out between whatever's going on with Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors. I'm just saying, go ahead, Fabian.
Because I don't understand what's personal about it. Like you disagree with these players that look great around Steph Curry. Yeah, a lot of players look great around Steph Curry, but there was an argument. The fundamental difference between Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors was he likes to go against their style. He's more one-on-one, and Draymond kept barking on him about that. And KD's like, bro, I'm KD. Kuminga, I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant, but I don't understand what's personal about it. Besides being a high-touted draft pick and all that, he's not doing what they want. If I'm not mistaken, either Kevon Looney or somebody that left Golden State, they were saying the same thing, bro. It's still Steph's system. You still have to work. If you don't know how to work your way in that system, Kuminga can't shoot like that. He got to be like a five. He got to be a big time rebounder to really perform in that. He can't play like Clay and these dudes.
But that's a different. Right, but that's a different conversation. Nobody is asking or expecting Kuminga to play like Clay or do none of that. I'm saying if it's clear, if it's evident that me and the coach don't get along, if that is clear, you don't like me, I don't like you. I don't know what nobody sees on the TV screen, but we all have eyes. If that is clear, you don't play me, you do play me. I play minutes, sometimes I don't. If the player has been verbal, I don't want to be here, get me out of here. Get him out of there. Get him out of here. But for me, I just love what Lou Will said, and I agree with Lou Will. I think DeMarcus Cousins is wrong. I think, he's looking at this situation and trying to attach himself to it, and these guys forget to take accountability. I agree 100% with Flea. LaMelo Ball, my opinion, think a lot of these young guys, they don't take the game serious. They tried to build around you. You had ample opportunities. You're very injury prone. And at the end of the day, it's like, yo, bro, listen, you're still getting 28 minutes. If you really want us to sabotage you, we can do what the sucker shit Washington is about to do, try to stop us from getting our pick. If you really want to sabotage, we're going to put out a fake report that you injured and nigga, you ain't going to get on the court. We're going to send you to Djibouti.
Right to fucking Djibouti.
Right. So, these guys that played in the league, y'all know what sabotage really means. I think LaMelo Ball, Ja Morant especially, to me, that was a terrible example. Ja Morant and Trae Young is terrible examples of players being sabotaged. Those guys are not being sabotaged. LaMelo Ball made his money. They gave him that big contract. Like I said, Trae Young, it's been for how many years now? He's a coach killer. Nobody likes him. Atlanta's unhappy with his play. So for me, I just think
one-dimensional player.
I just think those two examples from DeMarcus Cousins is 100% wrong. And I totally agree with Lou Will that, listen, bro, Listen, these guys don't love the game, man. And how long can you be an owner and just know and see what's going on and just allow a player to just rob you? No, enough. Yo, man, enough is enough. I'm giving you niggas getting 300 million. Y'all playing half a seasons. We ain't making the playoffs. You niggas don't love the game. That's my last point. I seen LaMelo after a game when they on the court talking to him, and the young lady reporter asked him something. He said, I think they said, "What are you going to do?" Something, and he said, something about dogs and be around a lot of females. Oh, these dudes is nuts. These dudes are shooting themselves in the foot. You get what I'm saying, Flea? Like what? So, Ja Morant, Trae Young, this shit is on them. I'm not blaming nobody else. No, this is on them.
I totally agree with y'all. I thought that you were going to disagree with Flea, but when Flea just he said what I wanted to say just way better, and I think Boogie Cousins is clearly still with this me against the world mentality, bro. Dog, you did not maximize your potential, as Flea said. You were not all that big bully shit, even the bully shit. You didn't do that to this with the maximum potential. So every time somebody bigged up DeMarcus Cousins, I was like, bro, he's talented, but I wouldn't want that guy as my franchise player. And the crazy part is they were still doing their thing when it was him and Anthony Davis, and he went down. That was the crazy part. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been an addition, but I'm just like, it's not adding up. Even the thing with the Kuminga thing where I disagree with y'all is that I don't know enough. None of us know enough to make a conclusive, point of view about that. I don't know if he's beefing with Steve Kerr because he's given it his all, and he has every right to feel like DeMarcus Cousins feels, but rightfully so. I don't know if he's justified in feeling the way he feels. I have no idea. I'm not there. We don't hear enough about that situation. But every other scenario, they've had enough time to show us what they can do on a basketball court consistently enough. We could pick out your flaws. Ja Morant and Trae Young play zero defense. We complain about that enough with Jalen Brunson. So what are you doing on the offensive end to have a franchise revolve their team around you, the whole organization around you? They tried that, and y'all failed big time. Forget about winning. It's not about winning. We're talking about making your teammates better and just playing your play in general. It's not up to standard of what a franchise player is supposed to be. That's a tough task to take on. And again, those are two guys along with Ant-Man. They came into the league. Trae Young was traded for Luka Doncic, and everyone thought, he got traded eventually to the Lakers, obviously, but Luka's 6'10", 6'8", whatever he is. There's a size difference here, but there's also, a lack of effort from all of these guys. Ant-Man's not included because he's showing you how it is to play ball. SGA surpassed all these guys, and he wasn't even considered in their realm when he got drafted. Yet he's an MVP all of a sudden. Yes, he has OKC. Yeah, he has a better situation organizational wise, better than Sacramento. We know how often do we hear things about Golden State really? In Atlanta, I don't know if they've been trying. I heard what Paul Pierce said. He feels like they're like a mid organization, but they try with these guys. You weren't meant to be the front dude. Were you really meant to be the second dude? Were you okay with that? Because a part of that is ego too. Are you willing to say, yo, fuck it, we got Jalen Johnson. Like this kid, he's a baller. I need to go play second, third fiddle to him because he makes my life way easier. I'll take 50 million less just to go win in Atlanta. We need to go do that.
But Flea, I would love you to respond to this. When Michael Jordan came out and spoke, right? This is what he was talking about when he said, guys don't earn it. These guys are being given franchises, right? And what have they done to earn it? And Flea, I would just love to hear you respond to, when Mike said that, a lot of people had a little pushback and a little flack. But now, when you see the Ja Morants, the LaMelo Balls, right, the Trae Youngs, who they had franchises handed to them like any other superstar. And it's like, yo, bro, what did y'all do to deserve that? And then y'all getting the big money on top of it. And then when things don't go y'all way, we want to blame everybody but the individual. So at that point where Mike said that, Flea, you don't have to be long, but is this what he was talking about? Did it make sense? Does it make sense now?
Real quick, I wanted to say something about Jonathan Kuminga. I'm gonna answer that question because that's a damn good question, OG. I want to say something about the Jonathan Kuminga thing. I think that thing is so overblown. Pause. Like, I don't think he's even that good. He's a really nice player. And I just think, like, why is it such a big deal that the kid is not getting minutes? Sorry. You don't play the style of basketball that is conducive to help us win games. And I don't think that they would be a top 4 seed if Jonathan Kuminga played 29 or 30 minutes a game. I just don't think so. So I don't understand this huge conversation about, damn, Jonathan Kuminga is getting done so dirty. Trade the guy. Situation always matters in the NBA, especially players like him. He got to get put in the right situation with the right coach. Things got to be perfect, and you know, things got to fall right into place for him to be successful in the league. He can't play under Steve Kerr. I don't understand the big fucking deal. He's not a top 10 pick. He's not a top 5 pick. What is he? When did he get picked? He's a first round pick? Okay. But he ain't a...
He was...
Where we at?
7th overall.
7th? Damn. Top 10? That hurts.
Yeah.
I still feel the same way. He ain't that good. I still feel the same way.
In front of Franz Wagner.
I still feel the same way. He ain't that good.
I like what
I can get corrected right in real time.
I like what
top
Michael
7 pick.
I like what Michael James said. I'm sorry, Flea, because this is what's often forgotten about. What they call the dead ball era. This shit is starting to remind me of how cats fell off all of a sudden in that Baron Davis, Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis era. Even how Vince Carter injuries to T-Mac, all of a sudden they fell off a cliff. And that was a big part of that people felt like even back then they were getting too much money too soon. Because Jordan was saying that from when he was leaving the league. So some of this stuff, getting what you earned or getting what you didn't earn too soon, that shit could gas you up. I always say, I don't know what the hell I would do if I was 20 years old and you gave me $200 million. How do you come back? You're going to fall the hell off and be like, you're not the number 1 guy anymore and we trading your ass. Some of these guys can't recover from that.
But to OG's point, like you just said, a nigga offer you $200 million and you halfway decent, All-American, top 5 pick, I'm taking the money. Like, I get that side of it. But I think the bigger conversation is, when you get that, are you a type of guy that can be responsible with that, with the role? When you come into the league, the light that is shined on you, when you one of the guys that is a $200-300 million guy, wherever this shit is going now. Are you capable of handling it? Like, I'm gonna go here for a second, just handling the spotlight. Are you a nigga like LeBron James that can handle being the face of the league, carrying, you know what I'm saying? You understand? Just forget how you feel about him. Just being able to carry being the face of the league. Are you a nigga that can handle that? Right?
No, that's
he got handed. He got handed everything to him before he really proved himself, for sure. But everybody can't handle that.
Before he was a man.
Before he could even go into a bar, right?
Listen, that's a great point.
Everybody can't handle that. Are you able to handle it like a guy like that, right?
But Fleet, right?
Kobe couldn't handle it. Bean couldn't handle it. Getting all of that, obviously he had to work hard. But once you get it, you fucked up. Like the case, the missteps. Like everybody's gonna have, but can you really handle getting that type of responsibility coming to the league, being a face of the league? Maybe not the face, but a face. It's hard. It's hard shit.
Yeah, that's a great point. And for me, you know, it can go all the way back to Magic, Bird. You know, it's just a plethora of guys that, you know, how they conducted themselves on and off the court when you have a franchise on your back. And, you know, at this point, you know, the organizations and the owners need to be held accountable a little bit too. Remember, y'all drafting these guys. Do your homework. Y'all are drafting these guys. Oh, you know, you know what you're getting. If you're not doing your homework and you don't know that this guy may not love the game, may not work hard, but you still pay him, that's So for me, I think it's a two-sided street. As much as we know we want to blame the players, which I think they need to be held accountable, the organizations need to be held accountable too. And at the end of the day, it's just so many great examples, like a LeBron, like a Tim Duncan, right? Guys that were drafted, had the keys handed to them, and just did their job to, to on every level, right? So for me, the sports world is in shambles right now, and it's getting worse by the week. If we're talking about it from that standpoint, because every year, remember the NBA.
He was slowing down the whole time, right?
We lost him.
But it was glitching for a while.
Just for a second.
I think even an example like Luka Doncic is forgotten about. Just talking about basketball, because even the Trae Young thing is just basketball. Because off the court stuff can get. It's just obvious what happens off the court. But even Ant-Man has a lot of off the court stuff that we hear about. And he still holds it together. But the fact that the Dallas Mavericks, right? Yes, but his approach, Luka Doncic's approach is what got his ass traded. The Dallas Mavericks said, "Yo, that ain't it. We ain't giving you no damn $300 million, bro." Same thing with Trae Young. Same thing with Ja Morant. We seen, and we called this Ja Morant shit 2 years ago.
I mean, it's very few and far in between. How many All-Stars can we say are capable of handling that, though? Yeah, we talking about these kids right now, but we could go back, right? We always talk about going back. We could go back and look at the franchise level player, whatever franchise level player you got going through the 2000s, going through the 90s, right?
Man, we got
all of them didn't really.
Fuck
you know
the fuck franchise players. Derrick Coleman was out of his mind.
A nut.
Chris Mullin and what's homeboy Mario Ellie would go brag about sipping and flipping out there on the basketball court. I just think
like
100.
Very few and far between do you have superstars, because everybody loves to label these guys that can handle that type of, right? Giannis is starting to kind of fall into that level of how you take on. Like, you can name a few guys, like, Kareem, like, as I'm thinking, like, but then there's a lot of guys in the mix that's like franchise level player, and you a bug out. Can you handle it?
And the funny part is we mentioned some names, like Luka. But speaking of which, he had a teammate by the name of Jalen Brunson, and he's leading a great organization to great things as of late.
KNICKS REHAB.
KNICKS REHAB, y'all.
Come on, baby Bubba, in the mix. Some tricks with the Knicks. Who we playing tonight? The Phoenix Suns. Competitive team, y'all. Very competitive team. Let's catch up to it. The Knicks back in second place. Flea? Huh? One night. We spent one night out of second place, and this damn old boy with Tizzy. Throw a hissy fit. What's wrong with it, man?
I don't like OG's face. I don't like his shoulders. He's not sitting with confidence as we go into KNICKS REHAB. I don't like the aura. OG. Like, I'm gonna let Fabian intro. We don't usually interrupt the intro, but I'm feeling your energy, baby. Like your shoulder shrugs, your facial expressions, body language is nasty right now. Are you not confident about tonight? Fuck Fabian right now. Where are you at, man? What's going on, baby? You all right?
All right. I'm not all right.
Go ahead, Fabian. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm good. Listen. I know my boy. And he wants to hear some spice. I ain't pausing nothing, Flea. I'm 43.
43.
Well, Jeff Teague and the boys are back at it. They said trade Cat. Woo! For who though?
I really called on the low.
I love this.
I called the Heat and asked them if they want to trade Cat for Bam. Because obviously y'all don't want to score him big.
Yeah, clearly.
Because y'all don't give him the ball.
Yeah, clearly.
So y'all might as well get a defensive-minded guy that can make plays.
Actually, a fire trade.
Clear
You know
word.
what I mean?
Actually, a fire trade.
I'm something.
On some real shit.
Man.
But I'm just saying, like, the way they playing right now, they want a more versatile player. They not throwing the ball on the block to Cat and Cat going crazy and doing his thing. Cat are pick and pop, though. They're not giving him touches. I might as well go get a playmaking big
Cat'll
that can
fuck
play off of
Miami
Jalen
up,
Brunson.
boy.
Yeah, he would.
Gotta have 50 on them niggas. Bro.
It'll fuck
My
Miami
mama.
up, boy. You go out there, it's over.
Yeah, I'm something.
Well, clearly Jeff T does not watch the Knicks. To not get any touches is crazy. Or ball. You ain't feeling well, but ain't nothing like an NBA player putting out an NBA trade proposal. The Knicks trade Karl Anthony Towns for Bam Adebayo?
No. Get Bam the fuck out of here. Now, hold on. We can get Bam with it can't just be straight up. Like if you throw another, like we need a haul, like how everybody else get the haul. So how, everybody's saying, we got to give up the haul for Giannis. Miami got to give up a haul for Cat. If we can get Bam with maybe two other players, then I'm all for it. Jeff Teague sounds just like AllBall. Been saying it. There, Cat and Brunson
Hold on, but Bam was never on your list ever.
He still ain't on my list. You know how I feel about Bam, but hey, Flea, listen, I can do a whole lot on how I feel about him, right? I used to be on live the way everybody braved him and went crazy over him, right? But I understand what Jeff Teague is saying. He played in the league, he watched the game, and I get what he's saying from a standpoint of, I said it. To me, Cat don't care about winning the championship. Cat want to be somewhere where he's the focal point, where he's the center of attention. Cat want to get the ball, put up his numbers. He want to play like he's a guard. He want to be able to celebrate when he hit the three. That's it. That ain't working over here because we trying to win a championship. So I understand what Jeff Teague is saying. I actually agree with him. Like I said, I think, when Bam is playing at a high level, Bam is one of the best defenders in the NBA. He can knock down the mid-range, and he's decent on offense. And, I think he gives us what we're missing because we're horrendous on defense. So we're getting a defender. But I'm just saying, for me, if we're thinking about that, which I never thought about, so big shout to Jeff Teague, because now, to me, if we can get the haul from Miami, which I doubt that's going to happen because we know who's the GM over there, probably ain't going for that. But if we could get a Bam with maybe 2-3 players to go alongside that, then I would love a move like that. But the fact of the matter is, people, think Knicks rehab is crazy when, we talk about getting rid of Cat. And then now you have a former player that was a teammate of Cat that's saying the same.
Yo, what'd you say, Flea? Yo, go. Do not disturb, bro.
Trying to tell him. Gotta put it on do not disturb.
I mean, there is it is out there. I mean, people are frustrated with Cat. How are you feeling about that name though? Because you do, like, out of all of us, I think you like Bam the most. But what do you feel about a Karl Anthony Towns for Bam Adebayo swap?
I just think Bam is good at what he's good at. Like, I don't think he should be compared to the top level bigs in the league. Like, I don't think Bam is some guy that you should be building your franchise around, like a Joel, like Cat was, like Joker is, right? Like, I don't think he should be looked at as like that. I think Bam should be looked at as like a Gobert, a guy that could just defend, rebound the basketball, look to get shit off the rim, be a lob threat, right? Like, I mean, at one point for me, Bam was like a point center type guy. When they were playing at a high level, when they were in the finals and things like that, Bam was like a point center type of guy. Again, like OG said, when he's playing at a high level, I don't care what anybody says, he is one of the better players at his position. But I wouldn't bring him here to be our second guy. If we brought him here to be our second guy to rely on, I think that that's a step down from even Cat. If we're talking about from an offensive perspective, right? He kills Cat from a defense perspective, but in terms of like relying on a second option and Bam be a second option, I don't think that puts us in any position to be any better. I would like Bam on the team, just not as a guy that you're going to rely on to go get you 20 to 25 a night. Hell no. I don't need that from him. I can't get that from him. He ain't that type of player. He's very good at what he does. And that's why I like him. I don't like him as some franchise level player. I think Bam is a guy that you can call on as a championship piece, right? You put him on a team, that's a piece that can help you win a championship. I don't think that that's the piece that you build around to go towards the championship. So I don't know if I would do it if that's the thought to be the second guy. If we do it, there's got to be, okay, what else? Or like OG said, add to that. What else are we getting in the mix of that? Is that a 3-team deal? Are we getting something else from somebody else? Like, you know, for all that, Cat could stay and, you know, we work with what we got. I can't have Bam as my second go-to guy. Hell no.
I finished, of course, with the comment of the night. How about Cat for Aja Wilson? Yeah, I totally agree with you, Flea. I think Bam will probably put us on a different level defensively. We would crack the top 5, top 10 at some point, but you know I was the biggest Cat critic. We ain't seen too many performances in New York City like Karl Anthony Towns, you know, against the Detroit Pistons last year in the playoffs. The way he started off last season, Bam can't do that. Like Bam can't do that. You know, it can Cat perform, defend like Bam Adebayo? He can't do that. But there are ways where he can position himself to affect the defense, not even similarly, but at least be effective enough. And he has shown strides. But offense is the game. Best defense beats the best offense in any sport. That's any sport. And, you know, Karl Anthony Towns, you know, that's a downgrade. It's an absolute downgrade. Bam Adebayo is not giving you, you know, 40 or 50 in a playoff game. You need your superstars to score one or two games in the series. They're giving you 30, 40, 50 dominant performance. I mean, you know, regardless of what the number is in this day and age, everybody's scoring 30, Flea.
I'm gonna ask you a question though. Let me ask you OG a question. Is it fair to say though, Bam's best help you get to an NBA Finals, a potential championship, and Cat's best is not?
I disagree.
Like whatever Bam is, whatever Bam's best is, help you get to a championship. Whatever Cat's best is, may not. I mean, I ain't seen it yet. Bam's best, we've seen him in the finals twice.
Oh boy,
twice.
I'll say it like this.
I'm asking.
If Jimmy Butler would have had Cat at his best against Joker, that's a whole different series. That's a whole different series. Because yeah, you know, Bam is great and all that, but you can't even guard Joker, and you were getting killed.
Jimmy hurt that series. Be fair. Don't do that. Jimmy is hurt.
No, I understand. But I'm talking about Cat. Cat is the one that he can present some option. He's presenting a mismatch. Bam ain't a mismatch on offense. You just all right, we're gonna guard you. Yeah. All you got is that 17-footer that ain't going nowhere in that series, and we've seen it, and that's the highest level. And they went to the finals twice. Let's not forget. So we know Cat. I understand. There's we're punching him while he's down. A lot of us are. I've been critiquing him forever, but I know what he is when he's at his. We talking about at his best. Nah, Bam could never, ever.
I agree.
I totally disagree.
Win a championship. Helps you win a
Yeah,
championship.
I totally disagree. We see Cat at his best with Jimmy Butler in Minnesota. Where did that go? So let's stop acting like. Okay. Listen. So what was Cat's best?
I say Minnesota when Ant-Man was calling him out. We ain't never seen him play defense on the Joker. Like we seen him with different options out there. He made the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then last year in the playoffs, conference finals. Like this Cat is playing his best basketball last 2-3 seasons. We combining rebounding, defending, and still some of that scoring.
But we have to be honest. First finals, Bam Adebayo's best. With let me be honest, a bullshit roster. So I'm not. don't want to make this about who's better, Cat or Bam, right? I'm just saying I think Jeff Teague has a point, and I think Jeff Teague is seeing what everyone else is seeing. Cat is the problem. Whether it's by default, whether it's
that's not what he said. Jeff Teague is saying that the Knicks wasn't giving him touches.
No, right. I'm not saying that Jeff Teague is saying Cat is the problem. I'm just saying that he's bringing up, hey, get rid of Cat. Whether we want to think he said it's a problem or not, when you have a player of Cat's magnitude, and if we're sitting up here on Knicks Rehab going, well, Cat is best if he's this, if he's that, and why is there people talking about trade Cat? At the end of the day, to me, that's where everything lies at. They're not saying trade Brunson. They're not saying trade OG. They're not saying trade Bridges. Everybody's not having a great season. They're talking about trade Cat. But at the end of the day, I think, Jeff Teague and them, that was a great point. Flea does make a good point. If you got to depend on Bam to be a second best player, then I don't see championship. But, Flea, I allude to the Detroit Pistons all the time. Who was the second best player? Was it Rasheed? Was it Tayshaun? Was it Rip? It didn't matter. Those guys played great basketball. They played together as a unit, and they won a championship. So for me, I get what y'all saying. I just think, with a move like that, if you get two more pieces, because you can't just do Cat straight up for Bam. No. But if we get something to go along with that, I would think about that. To be honest, especially if, what goes on continues. I think that's something to think about, because now the roles, it reverses. Now we're thinking about getting a haul for a player, not us giving up a haul for a player. And if we can get a defending Bam Adebayo who can still give us between 15 to 20 a night, and then we get a shooter, maybe another big man alongside with that, listen, I think that's something that we need to think about.
So real quick, Flea, before you add on, Bam is 29 years old, similar age to Cat. He's making $49 million, 49.8, but he's basically 50, 53.7, 57.7. He'll be a free agent. It's a player option in the 28, 29 summertime. To make $50 million a year, similar to Cat. Cat, I think, bumps up to 60 maybe in 2 years. I don't think he's a $50 million a year player. He's 30% of the Cat. 30%, and 31.5%. Like, that's damn near franchise player level. And I think Cat is more so that than Bam.
Yeah, I just, the roles are two different roles that we are asking for. I'm not just talking about the landscape of the NBA and things like that. I'm just talking about the Knicks. What the Knicks need right now, the role that Cat provides us, Bam can't. Although I'm saying Bam is a championship level player. I think that you bring him on the team, he helps you win. He doesn't make you a worse team. I just think if we brought him on our team, he ain't helping us win any games if you asking him to do what Cat does. That's where I stand. Whether you like Bam or not, he's a rebounder, he's a defender, he's a playmaker, he can pass the basketball, he's a good player. Call it what you want. And you need players like that to help you win. Cut the noise about, oh, we need star. Everybody's not a fucking star. When you're a star in your role, it helps you win games. It's 5-on-5. Like, so I would love the addition. I'm just not in the position to say, Bam, come over here and be 25 and 12 a night. You're not that, bro. You're not that.
Well, another coach. Go ahead, AllBall.
No. I'm just 30 seconds. I think, no one would expect Bam to be Karl Anthony Towns, Flea. I think, move like that, you expect him to do what Karl Anthony Towns did. No, but I get what you're saying. Just think, it's just now people are sounding Knicks Rehab, where you exploring moves to trade Cat, right? So just saying, for our chat and for people that be flaming us, we ain't the only ones up here talking about, hey, start looking for suitors for Cat. So I think, that storyline, no matter what it's about, now people are starting to understand and see what's going on with the Knicks. And Cat is the center around it.
I do, come on. I think about Bam next to OG, Mikal Bridges, all of these defenders next to Mitchell Robinson will be crazy. But you said stars, Flea. We got a last opposing coach that we faced, Ty Lue. He talked about how the approach that we had with these stars for the Knicks.
We did some good things. I thought Brunson, like you said, really took over the game down the stretch. I thought Cat was aggressive, the whole game. Just, getting the matchups, getting his angles on his drives. We were trying to commit early to try to, deter him from driving and try to make him turn the ball over. But he did a good job and just was physical and running through our guys and got to the free throw line a lot, but also being aggressive. And then I thought Brunson, we mixed up coverages, try to blitz him, try to drop and do some different things. And he was able to take over the game down the stretch. No, I mean, Tyler's been playing great, but just pushing the pace. And then, like I said, they played through Cat, who brought him home once Jalen was on the bench. And, when Jalen came back, he sealed the deal, And so having that 1-2 punch, that combination, kind of like, with Kawhi and James, they stagger Cat and Jalen. And both of those guys are able to carry their units like our guys are. So, I thought they featured Big Cat, a lot more tonight. And he was aggressive.
Now, that was Ty Lue, head coach of the LA Clippers. Couple that with the fact that Mike Brown's comments after the Clipper game, I won't say it was similar, but it was something that we all probably want to hear as Knicks fans. Or surprised to hear as Knicks fans, excuse me.
Yeah. No, like I said, I applaud our guys because, we hit some adversity and we could have gone this way and another guy could have gone that way and another guy could have gone that way. But, one of our standards is, hey, let's stay connected. And it's up to me and, and Kat and Jalen to keep the group uplifted and connected, as well as everybody else in that locker room. And you guys did a heck of a job, and we've been doing it for most of the year. And so it's not surprising when we do it. It's more surprising when we don't. But I have to make sure that I understand and I have some patience when we don't, because they're human and I'm human and everybody's going to make mistakes or revert back. You just hope it's not for a long time. And when it happens, you're like, okay, that's who we are. And I feel that they feel pretty good about it too, because it just proves or shows that they're capable to play that way anytime they want.
Now, that was Mike Brown, head coach of the Knicks. For me, that was very surprising because the whole year we've been hearing him campaign Brunson as the MVP. The first thing we heard about was, how Cat has to perform in this system and he's going to get the ball. A lot of people compared it to how Sabonis got it in Sacramento, but there was a lot of criticism with Cat. Obviously, all of us are criticizing him, but I've never heard him refer to Cat, especially before Brunson, in a conversation and say how he has to be the leader along with Brunson and himself for this team. That's the first time I ever heard him say that all year. And that's what we want for Cat. So I think the conversations that were being had before this game, the real conversation that they had in the players only meeting, whatever it was, did Cat vent his frustrations? Did they finally get it out that, that D Wade to LeBron conversation, dog, we don't do this without you. We've been talking about this. Did Cat step up and take ownership of that? Because Mike Brown certainly put it on the platter, AllBall.
Well, I don't think he said Cat name first, like how you're making it out to be. I just think, it's just how he said it. But let's be realistic. I said this the other day on KNICKS REHAB. We brought Cat here to be, to get us over the hump, to get us to a championship. We all know Cat is, the 1 or 2 on his team. Some think he's the best player, some think Brunson is. But we all know, you need both of those guys on the same accord. You need both of those guys to have chemistry and be on the same page. So, of course, you're going to, being the coach, Mike Brown, you have to have a talk with your 2 guys. You can't just have a talk with Brunson without Cat or vice versa. No, it's up to those 2 to get everybody on the same page and lift this team up. So I agree with that. And I think Mike Brown, he's starting to understand, like, this thing is for real. The Knicks organization, the fan base, we are looking for a championship. And I think now at the podium, he's starting to get it. And he said what we've been saying. Listen, this thing can go far left. You lose 4 straight, You get blown out 3 games straight. Remember, for us to go against the Clippers, who was kind of a little bit hot, they still have, Hall of Famers over there. This thing can really go left. So I think, he's 100% correct. And we've been saying it. I know I have been. Listen, Cat, Brunson, front office, coaching staff, y'all need to sit down and talk. I said that on the last next we had. What are y'all going to do? Because they can't continue to go like this. We have a whole season ahead of us. We still got 50 games or some shit like that. A little under that. Like, come on. So I'm glad that, he named both of those guys instead of just saying Brunson, because I do think a guy like Cat is very important to the team. Like I said, he's getting the big money. You said he just came from back-to-back conference finals. Well, 3 now, 2 with Minnesota, 1 with us. I think he's a guy like Cat. You got to be careful because, I think he's sensitive and has the ego. So you got to be able to caress that thing. So I'm just glad that he implemented Cat as, like, helping them understand you're just as important to the team as Brunson and we need you. But I've been saying it. The shit is getting hot in that kitchen. And they started to really understand, like, listen, bro, let's get it back together because that 4-game losing streak had all those looking at y'all crazy. I don't think they want to have that feeling again.
It's only been back-to-back conference finals, just a minor correction. The Minnesota went to 1, and then with the Knicks, he got the second one. Well, Fleet.
He oh, right, I'm sorry. You're 100% correct, yeah.
No, it gets foggy for me too, bro. This thing, I got more grades than you, so don't worry about it, AllBall. But also, Tyloo mentioned staggering the 2 stars like James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and it's kind of often forgot about Flea. But now I think Mike Brown, that was cemented, tattooed, Cat and Brunson and myself have to make sure that his team is going the right direction.
Nah. I gotta fuck with OG because the youngest in charge beat me to it. Caress, that thing was crazy. Like that shit was.
I didn't even hear him say that.
Nah, I heard him say it. I ain't want to stop him from doing it. I ain't want to stop him, and that's my dog. I love OG. It was crazy.
Yo, you know what's crazy? As I was saying it, I'm going, why am I even using that word? I never even used that word ever in my life. What? Niggas caught that. Y'all go to hell, man. Go straight to hell. Yeah.
Clearly, AllBall has had some disruptions on our live. And yeah, mine aside from this Knick game.
Caress that thing was so crazy.
Caress that thing is crazy. I blame that on Cat. See what I'm saying?
Did Mike Brown and Tyloo did they caress the press conference?
Caress that thing is crazy.
It was crazy.
Go to hell, man.
I like yo, G, that shit.
That was crazy.
I was dying over here. I'm like, yo. Nah, man. Listen. The press conference for Mike Brown is telling, and I'll tell you why. Because Fabian said the other day, and he just made mention of it. We talk about Pat Riley, Popovich, and all of those guys and great coaches and whatever great coach you want to talk about. But when we talk about Phil Jackson, and again, Mike Brown is not Phil Jackson, so just stay with me for a second. But when we talk about Phil Jackson, we talk about how you have to manage people, right? Aside from the coaching on the floor, how you got to manage people. And this right here was the first time I'm seeing Mike Brown work on managing people as that side of, as that being that coach, right? Saying that subtly. I know OG you may not think it's a big deal, but like you just said, to end this, you got to caress that thing. He had to caress the ego, right? And had to say, like, listen, if I have to mention him before you, because guess what? Brunson is a tough guy. Brunson ain't soft. Brunson ain't weak. Brunson plays with the lack of ego, right? Especially from the coaching perspective, that I don't need to pat him on the back. He's going to go out there and work hard every night. You, on the other hand, you big 7-foot dummy, you got to be, you know what I'm saying, be loved on a little bit. And guess what? If I got to do that to help us win, I got to do that to help us win, right? That's part of the coach. That's part of the coaching thing. So I love that from Mike Brown, right? I love if you got to do that, understand KYC. Anybody in the corporate world, y'all know what that is. Know your customers. KYP, know your personnel. Know who you rocking with. Know what you're dealing with. Oh, this is what we're dealing with. I'm probably not going to change him, but let me find ways, you know, to get him active and get him where he needs to be. Pause. That was crazy too. But so I'm cool with Mike Brown and the assessment tonight. And if Ty Lue is seeing that, right? If Ty Lue is making mention of guys being able to stagger like he does with Kawhi and James Harden a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we have to have Cat in the position of leading the second unit while Kolek shines in that spot, then that's just what we do. If that's the engine that pushes us to be great, that's just what we do. And then we close games, you know, potentially depending on what it looks like with Kolek and Brunson and Cat on the floor, right? That's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to a position where both those guys are on the floor at the same time, playing defense with high effort. They're never gonna be great defenders. These guys are 5+ years in the league. They'll never be great defenders. We're gonna call out what it is. But playing with high effort at their spot, that takes us to a different level. So I think that was great assessment from both guys.
Hey, Fabian, can I just real quick just piggyback what he said as far as with the Phil Jackson comparisons? Remember, Jeff T, big shout out to him once again. Remember, he said it also. He said, yo, all coaching is being able to deal with egos. So I agree with that. Like you said, what if Phil Jackson couldn't get Kobe and Shaq on the same court? What if he couldn't have or didn't have the respect of Mike the way he could tell Mike, hey, trust your guys? So I think a big part of what Mike Brown has to do, Flea, you're 100% correct. You got to be able to manage these egos and have guys play like egoless basketball and bring guys together and just all have one common goal. So it's a great point because Jeff T said the same thing. That's all coaching really is if you really think about it, besides the X's and O's.
I think coaching, especially once you go respected as a basketball mind, I think no one will doubt Mike Brown, whether he knows basketball or not. Obviously, he said he was babysitting JB Bickerstaff as a kid, and he helped him come up. He was a video coordinator. Spoelstra, you know, AllBall's GOAT, was started off as a video coordinator or video, whatever you call that. And I just, when I saw that, I just know for a fact this is a conversation with Karl Anthony Towns that has taken place with everybody. This is a different approach. All the stuff that Josh Hart was talking about last year with the agendas and the egos, and I feel like, Karl Anthony Towns has every right, and I think we all feel this way, especially to be a number one guy on any team, to feel egotistical and to feel like, he's better than Brunson. And the way he was attacking the Clippers last game was amazing. You got Zubac in the game, and he was what, 7 to 15 or 7 to 19 from the field. He didn't shoot great, but it was the fact that he kept attacking. Even with you bitching to the ref, it didn't matter to me because you kept doing the other thing, the main thing. You kept attacking. And I don't think that happens unless he starts to feel comfortable. And I don't know if he's ever felt comfortable. He's been talking about being confused in this lineup. So all we ever said was, yo, just play your game. And I would love for him to perform more underneath the three-point line, and I think he did a lot of that last game. But psychologically, this is different. Like Mike Brown, I think that he realized the criticism of Cat is not going to work. He's sensitive, like you said, Flea. Everybody's not, when are you going to big him up? He has bigged him up. He said, he played great defense on this game, and he referred to him as an all-star level player, whatever. But this is different. Me, Cat, and Jalen Brunson have to lead the way with this. Nah, man, that's a statement. That's a different statement that you made all season long. You've been having Brunson as the lead guy. Bro, what we've been saying, there's times where Cat might have to be the dude. He was a guy that was third in MVP voting in December last year. And now Brunson. And we know how it is. That's why, Dom, shout out to Dom Dropper. He always says I have a bias towards a big man. It's like, because it's duh. If you're 7 feet tall and can do what I do, you're in a different category. So I don't think Karl Anthony Towns and the Knicks have any success if they don't approach it this way. You have to figure out something else. you keep repeating the same thing, expecting a different result. It's the definition of insanity, right? So to go completely insane, you see all the Giannis rumors. Giannis, all of a sudden, this guy saying, I would never say I would demand the trade, but he's full of shit. So that ship is sailed. Forget about him. The other option to this is whether you could trade whatever, all these options we have, all these trade, fantasies that we make up. It's cool. It's fun. But at the end of the day, the other option is we are with Cat. And it's not a bad guy to have on your team. We just wish he had a different approach to the game. And, as much as we love Mike Brown, we've been lauding everybody but Cat this year. OG was starting to slip, right? He's starting to feel the heat from us. And he played better last game as well. But Karl-Anthony Towns maybe needs the support because when Julius Randle was here, he felt a certain way because he didn't get the support, but he never really showed us anything until the end. Karl-Anthony Towns is not at the end. It seemed like it a couple of times with all these trade rumors, but if he's going to be here and we all can see you and Brunson don't really mesh well, how are we going to be able to communicate that amongst you guys? Forget us. Forget the fans. We could yell whatever we want, but how are you guys able to communicate? Damn, I want the ball over here. Yo, Jalen, I'm not passing the ball. What if Cat feels like not passing the ball today? I don't think any of us would be upset. Like, nobody would be mad. Nobody in the comments. I don't care if you a Brunson stan or AllBall. None of us would be mad if Cat said, man, fuck that. I'm shooting 50 times today. We're going to be like, oh, shit. I would love it. Just to show that I have some cojones. Now, you can't keep doing that. But the fact that you try something different and you're aggressive, that's gonna shock the league. Everyone's gonna be on their heels at that point. If you see Cat is aggressive and you actually got Cat to be aggressive, everybody's been waiting for that, and the rest of the league's been scared of that for his whole career.
I mean, I hear you. I would not love him shooting 50 times a game, especially if we don't win and it looks how it looks. Where it's all, But I get what you're saying. That was a great point. Listen, we have to deal with what we have to deal with. Cat is here, and like you said, I love when you said, we can have all these scenarios and have fun all we want, but unless that happens, listen, this is who we got to roll with. And I'm just glad Mike Brown is starting to understand, like, listen, bro, you got to get your two best players on the same page. Because no matter how much you try to camouflage it, right? But when we start getting deep into the season and playing better teams, a la tonight against Phoenix, when we're in the playoffs trying to get to a championship or to win a championship, your two guys have to be on the same page. They have to have chemistry, and they have to understand we have to be able to stay on the floor together to, for us to have a better chance of winning. So I'm just glad that Mike Brown see that, and now he's trying to fix that problem, because no matter how we feel, no matter in the NBA, we can go back to Kareem and Magic, Bird and Mikal, Kobe and Shaq, Scotty and like, we can go on and on. If your two guys are not on the same page, you're not going to win basketball games, let alone championships. So I'm just glad that Mike Brown seen that and he's trying to fix that problem.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important for them to at least have some level of cohesion, right? If you have to put them in a position to stagger the lineup, and we are a better team with those two guys, staggering. He's leading the second unit. Jalen Brunson comes in. They're not playing as many minutes together, but it's still a steady diet of them being on the court at the same time. That's coaching. That's figuring out what works. That's looking at what my team is. If we aren't making any moves, this is what works with us. This is how we're going to win games. I think it's for me, I think it's a case-by-case basis as well, right? We haven't seen certain teams yet. We don't know the type of firepower we're going to need against some of these teams. And so, again, we're seeing a team right now that tonight that I'll be honest, I thought they were going to be a lottery team this year. I did not think they were going to be very good. I'm not very high on Jalen Green, that addition. I did not think that Dillon Brooks was going to take the step offensively that he has in his game. His game has taken a huge leap on the offensive end, and he's still one of the better defenders in the league. Devin Booker, I think I spoke to y'all the other day about how I feel about Devin Booker right now. Devin Booker is yelling at people right now and reminding folks I'm still a top 5 player at my position. Y'all argue with whoever you want to argue with, right? And so that team and the coach is a better coach than I even knew anything about, right? How he has them playing, how they're responding, because that's not a very great roster, right? They got a lot of pieces over there. Colin Gillespie is playing at a very good level. I like that guard over there. He's from another Nova guard, right? Another Nova guard, Colin Gillespie. I remember watching him in school. Ryan Dunn. Fabian was dying for us to draft Ryan Dunn. I don't remember if it was last season or whatever it was. Ryan Dunn is another good player for them. Like, they got something cooking over there that I didn't think they had. But again, when we start going up teams like this, teams that are just out there playing and ready to rock and roll, are we going to find ways for us to have that firepower? Because when they got it going, they got it going. Like you said, OG, one of the best duos in the league, if not the best duo. So when they got it going, they got to figure this thing out, man.
And there's only one way you can figure things out. Only one way. At least our way. How dare you, Flea? How dare you, Flea? You can't see Flea because the shades are hiding it, but you know Flea keeps his eyes on the prize, baby Bubba. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Hey, man, I would go over more. I would go with more than 25 points tonight for Jalen Brunson. Yep, I said it. Even with Cat, I will go for more than 12 rebounds tonight. Yep. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Ladies and gentlemen, we ain't even get into the Phoenix versus Knicks talk, huh? What we doing out here? Big Knicks. First, the damn Suns. They're in the playoff picture. The Knicks, you know, we back in second place. We 24-13. 4 games behind the Detroit Pistons. And the Phoenix Suns are in seventh place. They're in 22-15. And their last 10 games, Phoenix is 7-3. The Knicks in our last 7, we're 5-5, playing 500 ball, but we won our last game. And Phoenix, they won their last game. They played a goodie too against wasn't OKC. I forgot who Phoenix played last game, but it was ill. The way they closed out, and I think they beat OKC. The way they play basketball, OKC, the game I was watching,
Book hit the game winner
against OKC.
Yeah.
Oh, they were chasing him the entire second half. You talk about blitzing, it was straight double team getting the ball out of his hands. He couldn't do, like, they didn't want the ball in his hands, and then they defended. And the one thing I saw that stood out about them was the way they put the ball on the floor and they made decisions. Like Dylan Brooks is the only one that really stopped the ball, but you give that away for a guy who has just been playing his best basketball of his lifetime, and they're a tough team, AllBall. What do you expect to happen tonight?
I think tonight, once again, you know, one thing with the Knicks, I think every night is an important game, right? But you know me, it's on the road. What we've been saying all season, you know, to win basketball games, to be championship level style team, to win playoff series, you have to be able to win on the road. I think, you know, for one, we have to look at that. We're on the road. We're going against a team in Phoenix that's a respectable team. And we have to understand they have one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. And they have a guy, Dylan Brooks, that, listen, man, you know, people need to realize, like, that guy brings a different type of culture to a team. And for some reason, it's a winning culture. From Memphis to Houston, and then now over here in Phoenix. So I think tonight is very important for us to get off early, for us to have a great third quarter like we had against the Clippers. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think this game is going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to be a very exciting game to watch. I think the matchup I'm looking for is Brunson versus Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker is going to take that personal. He's going to try to give us a 40 piece. But I think this game is a very dangerous game. We need to go out and win this basketball game. Like I said, to get a big win on the road against a respectable team in the Phoenix Suns, I'm just looking for a very exciting game to watch. And we just need our guys to step up. We need Mike Brown to coach a hell of a game. We need to play some defense. Because like I said, guys like Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks, listen, they one of the best duos in basketball right now. So I'm just looking for Mike Brown to hopefully, let's get Cat going early. Like I said, I don't see nobody over there that's able to guard Cat. Let's try to establish something early. Let's try to establish some dominance. And y'all know the drill. If it's close, we got the best close in the game. So I think we need to just play a very smart basketball, but we need to be very careful because we, are on the road and the Phoenix Suns is on fire right now, and they're playing great basketball.
Please, let's not forget, Jalen Brunson had a 50 ball over there against Phoenix. He likes playing against them. Phoenix's last game was against Memphis, and they lost to the Rockets before that. That's Dylan Brooks showing out against Memphis. He broke down like, they blew that up way too soon. They don't know what they're doing over there. So they got the attitude over there in Phoenix. And like you said, like Dylan Brooks, like we didn't expect him to take this leap in Phoenix, man. So what do you think's gonna happen tonight versus the Phoenix Suns?
I mean, you said Jalen Brunson had 50 the other time they played Phoenix. Him and Devin Booker got a little thing going, and that goes back to Brunson back in Dallas when Dallas was facing Phoenix in the playoffs. Because Book and Luka have a thing, but then there was one play where Devin Booker, I think, bumped Jalen Brunson, got the bucket and won and called him soft. And then after that, Brunson was going at him. And then since then, there's been this thing brewing. I don't know if y'all remember, maybe a season or two ago, Booker came to the Garden and hit the game winner against us.
Right wing.
And right wing, right. So, they've had a little thing going, since for a little while now. So, like OG said, I'm definitely interested to see, how that matchup looks and what they do tonight. But I think you established Cat early. No disrespect to Mark Williams. I don't think he has anything for Cat.
Like, you read my fucking mind, man. That's the exact name I was going for.
Like, no disrespect to Mark Williams. He should kill Mark Williams. He should force Jordan Ott to sub Mark Williams out quickly. They should be going into their bench quickly. The thing about Phoenix is they do have some guys that are playing above their level, in my opinion, who they are. Grayson Allen comes in off the bench. And gives them great firepower. He's shooting that thing real well. Obviously, I said Devin Booker is playing lights out. I think he's, right now playing at a top 10 level player in the league at this moment right now. Dylan Brooks is, upped his level, especially on the offensive end. They missing Jalen Green, and he's immediately giving them what they need from what they thought they was going to get from Jalen Green. He's out right now. And I just think that they going to present a tough matchup, just being young, fiery, playing out there with nothing to lose. They played out there with nothing to lose, and they're 22-15. They right in the mix. I'm telling you, I don't know if anybody else had Phoenix being really good this year. I did not. So, for them to be bouncing back after missing Kevin Durant, or losing or trading Kevin Durant rather, I think it's big. So we have to come and play tonight. I'm expecting OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to have big games. And when I mean big games, meaning big on the defensive end, allowing that to fuel the offensive end. I want to see how often we get in transition. I think we look like a better team, and that's the big component that Tyler Kolek brings. When he comes into the game, he's not trying to do too much dribbling. He's trying to get it and go. Mm-hmm. Look up ahead, get the ball ahead. When you could get into early offense, that creates easier baskets. Teams are not setting up their defense. So if you could get early offense points, do it. Do it. Stop walking the ball up, Jalen Brunson. Get that bitch and let's go. Force them to get back on defense. Force them to make quick decisions on the defensive end. Don't let them settle, and now they're going to see you get into a pick and roll, and now they're going to see Cat get the rock, and now they're going to see Cat do some shit. Like, let's get it and go. So I really expect us to, if we're smart, I expect us, to play fast tonight. Play fast tonight, play with pace, and play some fucking defense, rebound the basketball. We're going to win tonight.
Phoenix is a middle of the pack offense. A lot of their game, I think they win their games on just defensive effort, tenacity. Funny you say Kevin Durant. He leaves Golden State, they still win the chip. He leaves Phoenix, they get better. Yeah, can get him right in his ass. Watch your fucking mouth. Don't ever disrespect Dom Drop like that again. But I digress. Dylan Brooks, man. Yeah, me too. Until now. Dylan Brooks, man. I'm happy to just see when people's progress. He's a villain, just to go from being a bully to just playing ball, and then you got a guy who's nasty and he's getting nice. Now he has a different set of responsibilities. He's a hothead. He's gonna try to check us and play with us a little bit. But I think OG and these guys gonna have to be ready for that. Cat normally doesn't get involved in the fisticuffs and getting in kerfuffles, but he gotta go bust Mark Williams' ass. If what they did to the Clippers is anything, of a sign that was coming up ahead of us, how every Spoelstra described us after we beat them up the last two games, I think that's how the Phoenix Suns have to be described. Like, they don't give up at all. They could be down by 30. They're trying to come back. Fun team to watch. Very fun. So get ready for some good basketball at the very least. And, we should try to put that Detroit game behind us. And this is how you do that. This is a team, no championship expectations, but so we got to put them away. I don't want to see that effort against Cleveland. I want to see what the Karl Anthony Towns led Knicks are now doing, according to Mike Brown. And, hopefully start some shit.
Shit, if we got to do it too, we'll do it too. We love you, Cat. Where's David Smith? Your biggest fan is part of the Knicks Rehab family. We love you here, big dog. If you need that to go play good, well, fuck it. We love you, nigga. Go out and get 30 and 15 tonight. Yes, we are. Yes. I'll be being nice to you, Wolverine 1986. Stop playing. I'll be being nice to a lot of y'all. Stop. Don't play with. All right now. Go ahead, OG. I'm sorry.
Just for me, I think, tonight is where Mike Brown gets this thing back on the right track. I think, no matter how good Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks is playing, we should still win this basketball game. We are the better team, so I just think this is a very important game for Mike Brown to quiet a lot of the rumors and just a lot of the bad press that the Knicks have been getting lately. I think a win tonight, especially on the road, I think it'll put this thing right back on track. Then I think, the bad and the negativity about the Knicks will start dying down a little bit with a win tonight.
1000%. Yes, we're real Knicks fans, Wolverine. I'm trying to see if that's the Michigan Hondo dude. That's the Detroit fan trying to play with us. I heard you call us out too. I told AllBall earlier, Flea, this guy be in his he look like he's in a bunker somewhere, going to war with somebody. I don't know what he's doing. If that's the same guy, Michigan Hondo. He's bananas. I want no smoke in real life. We'll do online smoke, please. Please leave me the hell alone.
That nigga's an eater. He be at the top of the line at the stand. That nigga's an eater.
Coach Biddy said, trade Cat to the Mets. Slow down.
To the Mets.
James Carter, thank you for your $5. Are we making a trade before the deadline or not? If so, who's going and who is coming in your opinion?
I think we're gonna make a trade, probably nothing crazy. We're gonna get rid of, like a Yabusele or something like that. It's probably gonna be something that, nobody think is gonna mean nothing, but I think we're gonna make something subtle. The big splash. I think that shit think we definitely going to make a move or two, though. It's probably it's going to be something that people may not understand. Definitely think so.
I saw a potential deal out there, the 3-way deal. Jeremy Sohan to the Wizards, Yabusele to the Spurs, and Cam Whitmore to the Knicks. I did see that. I did see that deal out there.
Hold on. You want to save that for because the Knicks game is about to start, bro. And I know how you feel about Cam Whitmore, dog. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I love Cam. I don't know if we need him. We could talk about that tomorrow. We can talk about that tomorrow.
Shit, because
I saw that. I saw that. I ain't saying that. I don't even know if I sent it to y'all, but I did see that. And I was like, damn. You seen it too, right, OG? Okay, so I was like,
I've seen it.
Is that something we need? Because I like Sadiq Bey, but who's the better player? Is Sadiq Bey or Cam Whitmore? Who would you prefer before we get out of there?
I think Cam's a better defender. I don't like Sadiq. I don't like Sadiq Bey's like fake. I told you he's Corey Maggette-ish. I don't like them players like that, man. Get out of here. That bullshit. Yo, old boy, he's the type of dude be in the mirror for too long, man. I don't like that shit, man. Go play ball, man. Stop. We already got Cat. Like Cat, he's already finesse. And we love you, Cat. We rooting for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold it down, Cat.
I'll take either one of them dudes over Yabusele. I'll take Corey Maggette right now at his age over Yabusele. Make the call.
Pick up the fucking phone. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what this was.
KNICKS Rehab.
Rehab, y'all.
Come on, man. Stop playing. Let's enjoy this game. Mo, I'm not hating because he's handsome. It's not that. I don't know if these guys are handsome, but get the fuck out of here.
Mo. We handsome. Don't do that.
Word. My mama
we
said.
handsome, the beautiful, the sexy, the lovely, the extravagant. Mo was in the building.
Ooh.
Mo.
Come on, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game. We shall be back tomorrow with our reaction to the game. Phoenix versus the Knicks. Let's see who gets this. Oh, true indeed. Huh? Shall I proceed?
Kiki, do you love me? Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mo.
You was doing that dance?
Caress this ego dance, man. Listen, I could barely two-step. Only dance I could do is electric slide. That's it.
I might pay
anything else would be uncivilized.
I would pay to see him. I would pay to see him electric slide on some funny shit.
Listen, I'm so smooth with it. I don't do the extra. You know, everybody get extra when they do the. Not doing all that.
What you do? You do it? You like that? Like,
real smooth.
Listen.
Just shoulder. You just do the. You just do the shoulder.
Over here.
You just yeah. Just the shoulder.
Wait till I get this. Wait till I get the surgery and get the height and put 4 inches on me. Get the gut down. Go to Brazil. Yeah, it's going down. Look at the height. Yeah, I'm from 5'8" to 6'2" on these niggas.
Nah, he said, hold on, no wait. He said get the surgery and get some 4 inches on. Nah, come on, listen. I don't play the pause game. This is crazy.
The nigga said,
I'm trying to get taller. I'm getting taller.
He's going bananas.
Nigga said caress that thing.
Nah, he's going bananas.
And nigga said,
I'm gonna add 4 inches on it. He proudly. Relax, my brother.
Talk about the surgery to get the height, man. All right.
We know.
Let me be.
We know.
You know, let me. You know.
We know.
Let you flourish. Catch y'all tomorrow. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.